about success today, becoming successful. It's very difficult. We look around today in our nation and we find folks that are suffering tremendously. The COVID issue sure didn't help. We're just kind of jacked up. And so the politicians were arguing on whether $600 was enough or $1,400 was enough for the American people. And of course, the American people wanted $1,400. And there was a gentleman, Dave Ramsey, the financial guy. He was in a lot of hot water because he made a comment that if you're waiting on $600 or $1,400 to help you out, to fix your situation, you're screwed already. Paraphrased, of course. And he took a lot of flack for that. but you know, I like Dave Ramsey. I don't really like to listen to his call-in show, but I like listening to him. He's a motivating guy. But the thing was, Dave was right. I mean, come on now. $600, $1,400, $2,000, say $3,000. Suppose they sent every American $3,000. How long would that $3,000 last? And since that $3,000 was gone, be back in the same boat they were in. Because we learned a long time ago, I think it was common knowledge that most Americans, before we had any of these pandemic issues, even before we had the economy issues, you know, back in the Bush era, when we were just going along smooth, most Americans were like one paycheck away from being bankrupt, from being destitute. We understand that. We understood it then and we understand it now. And it's worse now because of the stuff that we've been facing for the past year in the world and particularly in this nation. We're kind of messed up. And so you have so many people that are, now we're trying to get the minimum wage raised from $7 to $15 or something like that. I'm like, but still, even the $15. Most people are one paycheck away from being bankrupt were those people that were making more than $15 an hour, even today. So this is what we're going to talk about. You know, this is an urban program. We usually talk about black issues. And I wanted to address something I mentioned in the last program that I took a little heat for. But I might do that at the end of the program. Let's deal with this now. Because the reality is, we do have most people that are going to get that $600 to $1,400 are screwed. It's not really going to help. It might help them for a month, and then what? It might help them for 2 weeks, and then what? It might help them, you know, for that week and all. So what's going on? I mean, we have a lot of folks that are working jobs that are minimum wage jobs, and we feel trapped, can't get out. What I'm suggesting is, whatever your lot in life, you need to make it better. Okay. Now, I've had the biggest detriment to the situations that we're facing in life too often are the politicians. Because they have their own agendas. Most of the politicians on either side of the aisle, if they've been in there for a while, are multimillionaires. They're making a lot of money. And their particular vocation requires chaos. Requires chaos in the nation, chaos that they can barter back and forth with their alternate individual on the other side of the aisle, Republican versus Democrat. They need chaos to justify their... If we all got along, we all agreed on everything, we wouldn't need those politicians, but we don't. They need the chaos. They have all these rules and regulations on how they handle stuff, and all you see it on TV, you know, with the president presiding, the president of whatever, you know, body it is presiding, all that stuff they do. That they've been doing their traditions for hundreds of years, while the American people are really, really, really suffering. Okay. And so then you get the American people that begin to take sides on the political spectrum, whether they're Republican or Democrat. And neglecting what they're supposed to be about. I mean, we have Americans that spend so much time all riled up in this political melees that's been going on over the past 4 years that they haven't been putting a hand to taking care of their own business, taking care of their own lives at home. And so now they're looking for $600 or $1,400, where if they had been as diligent about their personal situation and their personal well-being as they were about the antics of the politicians that were performing before for them in Washington, D.C. on their various news channels, they wouldn't be in such a bad condition. There's always something that can be done. Now for me, when Obama became president, and I mentioned this in many programs, I hope you're not getting sick of it, I had a high school diploma. By the time he left office, maybe 2 months after, I had my MBA. And I started when I was 50, ended when I was 60. Now if I had done that when I was 30, it'd be a different story right now. So what I'm suggesting is that there is something that you can do to better your situation. You can't simply sit around and complain and wait for $600 or $1,400 to show up, because that's not going to better your situation. Life has to change, and you have to make the change. There are avenues that are available. You have to figure it out. First of all, don't drink. Don't smoke weed. Don't smoke cigarettes. Why would you have habits that would use up your money if you're not making that much money? Okay? I'm just saying. You know, this whole successful walk in life is not rocket science. To be successful in life, it just takes common sense. What I try to impress upon my children, especially my daughter now in my household, is don't spend your time or your money on the things you want before you have accomplished the things that you need. That right there would satisfy the situation of lives for most of us right there. and I'd take from a spiritual perspective, I would embrace the idea that what goes around comes around, okay? And we see that in life. Well, and on a very simple scale, you know, when you go out into the population and you are nice to people, people are nice to you. What goes around comes around. And we look at it even in the workplace. when you do your job, when you come to work on time, when you're not a problem employee, and you don't call in sick, there are benefits. You know, your relationship with management is positive. Now, if you have a union, you don't have to break the union rules. You know, I'm not talking about going against your union. I'm just saying is, if you're doing what you're supposed to be, your union doesn't have to show up fighting for you, you know, with grievances and all. So you're not betraying your union, and you're not betraying your company. Just try to always do the right thing, and there will be favor. There will be favor from your union people who see you and respect you. There will be favor from management who see you and respect you as well. And anytime there are benefits that might benefit you, your union people and your management people will see you as a viable candidate for that blessing. Okay, that's we're speaking like spiritual. But what goes around does come around. So if you want good things to happen, be good. Use common sense. Don't blow your money on stuff, especially stuff that's not good for your health, okay? Man, I really wasn't planning on going here, but health is very important. So, you know, as many of you know that know me, plus I post on here and I post on Facebook and on YouTube and all, I'm into health. Yeah, I'm going to be 63 this year. I've been trying to live healthy for maybe the past 20 years or so, okay? Trying to eat right, trying to exercise and all that stuff. Recently, back in August, I had a 76-day challenge. Work out every single day, okay? And now that workout is now part of my life, just like brushing my teeth, okay? Because I got into the habit of it. So there's an idea about taking care of yourself. So as I've shared with many people often on many occasions, that it's very important for us to eat healthy. Because when you get sick, being sick becomes an expense. It becomes a hospital expense. You know, after you've run through whatever your insurance, if you have insurance, what it doesn't cover, you have to cover it. If you don't have insurance, you might be stuck with a bill. And that is the downfall of a lot of people who are trying to be well in our society, are hospital bills. But if you're taking care of yourself, many of the illnesses that befall us will be avoided, okay? And so taking care of yourself is exercising. Yeah, well, you know, go to the health spa. You know, I don't even believe in health spas. I don't believe in health spas because, I'm like many Americans have been part of health spas, sign up for them and go for a week and not, and then have this tremendous bill later that is haunting you that you have to take care of. But exercise is free. Man, I have like a 40-minute martial art cardio that I do that I've been doing for years and years and years. And for that 76-day challenge, I just did that every day. 40-minute cardio, martial art cardio, because I was a martial artist. Whatever it is that is comfortable to you, do it. Find it. That works for you, a cardio. For me, it's the martial art. For somebody else, it might be riding a bicycle. For another person, it might be power walking in the neighborhood for 20, 30, or 40 minutes. Whatever it is for you. Find something and do it every day. And it's free, okay? Don't go out buying stuff. There's no reason. And even the foods that you eat, man. I mean, I try to eat healthy. I like every day, man. I eat like grapes and prunes and a fiber cereal and what else? Carnation with skim milk and a hard-boiled egg, green tea and some green drink, some green stuff I mix with my orange juice and water. What I'm saying is, there are certain foods you can eat that are healthy, like turkey and like chicken. Certain things that you can eat, like spinach for the salad and all that thing. Those are the things that I eat, for sure. And so I was sharing with somebody one day, and they were saying, well, these healthy foods that you eat, they're so expensive. And really, they're not. They're just regular prices. As a matter of fact, fruits and vegetables are pretty cheap in the grocery store. And besides that, as you stop buying all the chips and all the other stuff you're eating, you're going to find out you're saving money, or at worst, you're going to be breaking even. So you're not spending money on unhealthy foods anymore. Okay? That's free. In a sense, that's free. If you break even, that's free. Okay? That's what I'm saying, just, and what I've done, let's see here. So cardio, as an old man, 63 years old this year, I've just been working on my cardio. I haven't been working on building up muscles and all that, but I thought, after I got that 76-day challenge out of the way, after my cardio was now part of my daily routine, I decided I'm going to start working on my arms. So what am I doing? So every day I start with a minimum, you might say start with, for anybody, depending on where you are physically, you can start with 20 or you can start with 15, or say you start with 10 push-ups. Because most people are kind of, we've kind of neglected ourselves for a long time, and it's hard to do 10 push-ups, but start with 10 push-ups. I mean, just get them out there, even if it's really tough, 10 push-ups. Every day. After 2 weeks, add 5 more. So for the next 2 weeks, you're going to do 15. Okay. After those 2 weeks, add 5 more. The next 2 weeks, you're going to do 20. Man, by the end of the year, if you started now, by the end of the year, you'll be doing like 115, 120 push-ups a day. And as unbelievable as that might sound, especially for you or for me, if you incrementally increase, it's going to be a piece of cake. You're going to. And by the next year, you're going to be doing 250 push-ups a day. It's not difficult because you're incrementally increasing. Your body really isn't realizing the difference. You're just getting stronger. It'll work. And then, my suggestion, what I plan on doing, okay, I got this gut thing going on, man, because I'm, 63 years old, This lady my age, a relative told me on my wife's side that, the age you are, it's okay to have that. Who made that rule up? Okay, so I got my heart right. At the end of this year, I'm going to have my arms right, And then I'm going to work on my gut. I'm going to do the same concept with the sit-ups that I did with the push-ups. Start off with 10 sit-ups, 2 weeks. Next week, 15 sit-ups for the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, 20 sit-ups. By the end of the year, I'll be doing 130 sit-ups a day, along with my 200 push-ups, along with my continuous everyday cardio. And I'm not doing them all the time. I do the cardio in the morning, do the push-ups in the evening, and throw the sit-ups in there sometime. It's easier that way. And by the time you're done, shrinks will tell you, a sociologist, psychologist will tell you that it'll take you like 21 times to make something a habit. That's why I did that 76-day challenge. That cardio is a part of my life now. So will the push-ups. They all kind of are now. I've been doing them now for like 4 weeks. And so will the sit-ups. What I want to share with you today is, see, in this nation, in our nation, we are falling apart. I have schoolmates that are old, okay, that I'm the same age as, and I'm not old. I mean, chronologically I am, but however you are physically is what you've bought into and what you've allowed to happen, okay? Shouldn't be that way. That's why our nation is obese. That's why our nation is unhealthy. That's why COVID is hitting us so hard, because COVID hits people, primarily those people that are already unhealthy, and we are a nation that is unhealthy, so we're being hit very hard. We are a world that's unhealthy, so it's being hit very hard. So as individuals, each of us, man, I know when this COVID came up, that's about the time, it wasn't long after that. I mean, I've been working out, but I decided to step it up because being in my 60s, I'm kind of a candidate for that too. So I just made sure. I don't know all the intricate details about the pandemic, about the particular coronavirus and all that, but I do know if primarily sick people are the ones being hit, best I can do within my purview of influence is to make sure that I'm as healthy as I can. And that's what I do. That's what we all must do. We have that within our ability. And I want to share with you now, and I am a minister. Many of you know I have a spiritual channel. I am a staff pastor in a local church. I've been ministering for almost 30 years now. My desire and my determination as a minister has always been, I will not preach theory. And I'm sharing that with you on this urban station, that whatever I teach or whatever I espouse, whatever I suggest, will have to have already been proven by me. So what I tell you works. Folks always say, oh man, you don't look 63. You don't look... What? That's because I've been eating right and I've been exercising, okay? There's still some of my lack. I don't get enough sleep. I'm working on that right now. But I'm telling you, you can turn back the clock, okay? It doesn't matter where you are. When I started that 76-day challenge back in August 27th to November 10th or whatever, what I suggested is you pick whatever it is you want, whatever your exercise is. Mine just happened to be cardio. Cardio is good for older people. It strengthens that heart and all. Pick whatever exercise it is, but don't make it too crazy. Don't make it something that in a couple weeks you're going to be tired of doing. Just make it a little bit beyond you. And then just be diligent about doing it every day. And you'll be well. What I'm saying, as far as for people that are getting older, or even people that are sickly, begin doing this. Based on whatever your situation is, whatever it is you need done. Now I have a suggestion. Now somebody's out there, that are kind of my age or maybe a little bit younger than me that are working on, getting their arms and that's it. I would really suggest the cardio first, because as you get older, it really doesn't matter if you got these big old cannons going on, okay? Those are going to be temporary anyway. What matters is you keep your heart strengthened, you keep your cardiovascular going, keep your blood pressure down, keep your cholesterol down, just take care of those things and work on the muscles later. So I would suggest doing a cardio workout for the first 3 months. And once you're doing it every day, then graduate to something else, like maybe your arms, maybe your gut, something else that you might want to make strong, okay? And just make it happen. Let me tell you, it's my belief, first of all, that we just get old before we are old. And we have it's really not fair to our children. And me, I have a 15-year-old daughter. I'm 60. I'll be 63 this year. She didn't ask to be born to an old man. Least I can do is try to stay healthy. But I think the worst thing in the world, I think it's very unfair for children to have the burden of taking care of their parents, having to take care of their sick parents, if their parents became sick because of choices that they chose to make that were unhealthy, okay? Now, if you just get sick, and it is not because you were smoking or because you weren't eating or because you weren't exercising or all, okay, I understand that, and that's acceptable. But if you just chose to live a particular lifestyle out of laziness or just because you just wanted to satisfy yourself with certain kind of pleasures, and now you're sick, it is very unfair to the life of your child, who now has to take the next few years out of their life tending to yours, okay? And so it is my desire. My desire is to live to 130 years old, okay? But my desire is not to be a burden on my children. My desire is not to be wearing diapers. My desire is not to have to be drinking apple juice through a straw, apple sauce through a straw, you know. I want to be able to be self-sufficient, okay? And so I'm doing all that I can do to be self-sufficient. So it's my belief then, and I want to share with you, that it's not so important how you start the race. It is most important, very important, how you finish the race. Because see, when you come into this world as a young person, that's why all of us, everybody was in shape when they were young pretty much. Because you got a young body, it's a new body. See, you can eat whatever you want, you know, go to bed whenever you want, whatever, and you're still looking good, you know. That's because our bodies were new. But as we get older, we say the guts start coming. I remember when I was like 17 years old, man, I had practiced the martial arts since I was like 14 years old. And I remember I was getting ready to go into the military. And I'm thinking, you know, God, even though I was in good shape, I'm thinking, you know, I was a little nervous, 17 years old. Went out to the base, saw a lot of these GIs that were in the military, and they had this gut going on, kind of like the one I have now. And I'm like, gosh, if they made it, I could make it. And I made it, of course. But see, your bodies are healthy, looking good when you're young, as many of us know, as most of us know, but they start kind of falling apart the older you get. You can't eat all the things you used to eat. You can't stay up as late as you used to stay up. You can't party like you used to party. All that stuff, man. Things happen. Okay, so it's really not all that impressive to start the race in good shape and looking good as a young person, because most of that isn't attributed to you anyway. It's simply because your body is new. But what's important is, as you hit midlife and going on into older age, you know, RP age and all like me, that you finish the race in good shape. And that's what I'm sharing with you here. It won't cost you any extra money. It just costs you a determination to do what you can do and to be diligent about it. And if you're diligent about it for a given amount of time, like the initial workout, the cardio for like 3 months or so, it'll be easy, because now it'll be a part of your process, just like brushing your teeth. And then whatever you're working on later, do that for a few months. Do it for a year. Like that's going to be the rest of the year from like March, you know, through December. After that, that'll be a part of the regular regimen of activities every day. And the gut the same, whatever it is you choose. Okay? It's not as important how you started the race as it is important how you finished it. Or words of wisdom. Okay? Don't worry about things beyond your reach. Even with this workout program, don't worry about what your gut's supposed to look like. You should just know that if you do affect what's before you, affect what is in your purview of influence, that is your push-ups or your sit-ups, that what is supposed to happen will happen. You don't have to say, I need my arms to be this big, or I need my waist to be like this, or I need my weight to drop to this. No, if you just are diligent every day to do what you're supposed to do, those results will happen. They'll take care of themselves. There's an old Buddhist proverb that if you want to find the mother, follow the children, and the children will lead you to the mother. So if you want to attain that goal, the mother, affect those little things that are around you. And those little things affected will lead you to that place where you desire to end up. Okay? Do not think and do nothing. Always considering, always figuring. Don't overthink something. Now, when I say overthink, I don't mean like you're in a new job and it's getting complicated. You know, a lot of times people tell you in that you're overthinking. No, you're going through what they went through when they were learning the job. But as far as something that you need to do to improve your lot in life, that's what you don't overthink. What do I need to do? Look, when I was going to get that college degree, you know, of course, I got my MBA. But I wasn't thinking about the MBA. It's sort of like what I'm telling you. Don't look so far. When I got the bachelor's degree, I wasn't thinking about getting a bachelor's degree. I went to school, went to Sinclair College to get an associate degree just so I could say, hey, I have a degree, okay? I'm 50 years old. And when I was there was this counselor advisor who advised me to sign up for a parallel program that was parallel to Wright State or UD. Okay, and I'm like, I don't need to do that because I just want a 2-year degree, just so I can say I have a degree. She goes, I know that, but I really strongly suggest that you sign up for a parallel program to Wright State or UD. And what a parallel program is if you go to a 2-year college like Sinclair was at the time, and you get your degree, you have your associate degree. But now if you want to go to Wright State or go to UD to further on to get your bachelor's degree, they're not going to take all the courses that allowed you to get your associate degree at a 2-year college, because they're going to have some higher level courses that they're going to want you to take. So some of the courses you took to attain your associate degree are not going to count when you go to another school like Wright State or UD to get a higher degree, get the next degree, get a bachelor's degree. But she said that this parallel program were a list of classes offered by Wright State and a list of classes offered by UD, that if you took these classes to equal your Sinclair associate degree, that if you decided to transfer to Wright State or UD, they would accept all of the courses that you took, okay? So their courses were a little bit different than what Sinclair's requirements would have been simply for one of their associate degrees. And this advisor was bugging me so much, I just agreed to do it just to satisfy her, because I knew I was only going to get an associate degree. But guess what? That was the smartest move luckiest move I've ever done in my life, was listen to that advisor, because guess what? After training that associate degree, I decided I wanted to go on and get a bachelor's degree. And I went on and got the bachelor's degree. And after the bachelor's degree, I decided I laid out a quarter, decided to go back to school and get my MBA. Okay? So I never looked way out there. I think, for me personally, that at 50 years old, when I went to Sinclair, if I was thinking that my goal is to get an MBA, I probably would have never even gotten my associate degree, because that it was just too far. But I was able to just get the associate degree, get the bachelor's degree, get the MBA. I didn't reach so far away. I just dealt with what was right before me, and it worked out that way. And the simplicity of all, I have to give a lot of credit to my kid sister, the PhD, is that I was like, I don't even know if I was really taking it serious, but she was. I think she saw what I couldn't see. At that time, she had a master's degree, and in my course of studies, she ended up getting her PhD. But I would just say, look, this is, after Sinclair, I said, this is what I need to get my bachelor's degree. And I gave her all the lists of classes, and I emailed them to her, and she sent them back to me. Take these first, take these second, take these third. And I did the same thing with my MBA. I said, you tell me which ones I need to take. So there are people around that can help you. Utilize your resources, but don't make your goals too far out. And so even when my sister sent me the list of classes that I should take in certain order for my bachelor's degree, I wasn't looking at the entire list. I wasn't thinking about how far it would go. I'd say, I'm going to take, international business. Okay, I'm going to take this. And I began to pick the things that I wanted to take. And then I was thinking, man, I had these accounting classes and economics and all this crap that I knew I did not like. So I'll tell you what, I took all the classes that I liked for my bachelor's degree program, and I learned a lesson in that. My lesson that I learned getting that bachelor's degree was by taking all the fun classes up front. The last part of my life as studying for my bachelor's degree was pretty miserable, with all these accounting classes, economics, all this stuff. I had no break. So when I went on to get to my graduate studies for my MBA, I took all the tough ones first, all the undesirable courses first. And I slid like that last year with like terrorism, domestic terrorism, international terrorism, the African business, environment, and with the just, to me, fun stuff. Okay, your fun stuff would probably be different, but that was fun stuff to me. So I learned to, so I want to compare then when you're in college, the fun things to the things you want, and the harsh, miserable courses to the things you need. So always take care of the things you need, and then enjoy the things you want. Okay, and so that's a long way around it. Don't reach out too far. Just gravitate toward everything within your purview of your reach, and then use common sense. Okay, and next, do not say or feel, when it's ready, then I'll take care of it. Okay, because it never is going to be ready. If there's something you need to do, don't wait until all the stars and all the planets are lined up. Begin now. Take that step and handle your business. Okay? For real. And just jump. And see, that's in my life. I mean, back when I was out there in my crazy time, back when I was Marty, before I was Martin, that would always be the detriment, in my life, is that I would always do the things that other people wouldn't do. I would always go that extra mile. I'd always jump in situations that I should have been, more wise about. But as I have cleaned out my act, as I have matured, as my eyes have been opened, I still jump. But it's in areas that are positive. It's in the directions where I need to go. I don't hesitate. I don't wait. Anything. No. If it's the thing I need to do, even if it doesn't seem I have everything ready, I'm not going to just wait, because often things will never be totally ready and right. You just have to step out there and then begin to make sure you have everything you need through the process. Because like taking a class or two in college. I mean, come on now. Whatever it is you need to take care of on the side, you could still do that after you've started college. Don't wait to make sure everything is perfect before you start, because things will never be perfect and you never will start. I know a guy, he's kind of younger than me, but he's a little bit unhealthier than me, and I've been trying to encourage him to work out, and he's saying, when I get my gym together at home, when it's ready, then I'll be... No, don't wait. Come on. These push-ups, the living room floor, push-ups. My cardio, my 40-minute cardio, in my basement. That doesn't have to be fixed. Nothing has to be ready. Come on now. You just do it. Just do it. Don't put it off. Don't wait. Okay? And so that's the worst thing to do, because you'll never get to that place where there'll always be something popping up. Something your family has to do. You got to do this, got to do that. Something on TV. There's always going to be a reason why you're not ready. You just have to shut the TV off. You just have to do it, and do it with consistency. Just reiterating what we've already talked about. Don't spend money on things that you can do for free. Okay? I hate doing that. I love saving money. Don't spend money on what you can do. There's no reason. Working out doesn't need to cost you any money. A lot of times those kind of commitments cause a psychological pressure and overwhelms you, and we just don't finish. I think I've belonged to like 2 or 3 different spas in my lifetime that I never did more than 2 weeks. Okay? Now, don't pay for anything that you can do for free, because it relieves the pressure and makes it a whole lot easier. And even with the working out thing, with the cardio, when I did my 76-day challenge, I had a little rule in myself, okay? Each day, do my 40 minutes. But if I missed a day, as long as I made up that 40 minutes at a time the next morning before I would have ordinarily awakened, then I'd still count it for the previous day, okay? see, and now that I'm not on the challenge, there's a flexibility when you're not paying for it. There's a flexibility when you're doing it at home, because you can do it at any time. Man, you could fall asleep at 8 o'clock and wake up at 3 in the morning and feel refreshed and energized and go ahead and just work out right then. But if you're waiting to go to the spa, you have a particular time that you have to go, and if something pops up, something's not convenient, you've just missed that day. Better to work out at home for free, okay? Don't pay for what you could do for free. Let's see here. The culmination of things creates big results. Don't look to do that big thing. Just recognize that a culmination of little things make big results. Like if I tell you today, I'm going to start doing 100 and 30 push-ups a day. It's probably not going to happen. I can pretty much guarantee it's never going to happen. But if I tell you that I'm going to do 15 push-ups a day for 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks 20 push-ups a day, the next 2 weeks 25 push-ups a day, I can guarantee you that at the end of the year I'm going to be doing 130 push-ups a day. Don't try to do big things. Just the accumulation of little things will accomplish big things. I was reminded of a story with Michelangelo and his famous statue David that he carved out of stone. Beautiful masterpiece. And someone walked to him one day and said, "Master, Michelangelo, how did you create such a beautiful masterpiece out of a piece of a rock?" He said, "I didn't." He said, "David was in the rock. I just freed him." In other words, like the man who created a statue, a great statue of an elephant, and the man said, "How did you do such a wonderful work of art?" He said, "I just chipped away everything that didn't look like an elephant." And that's the key. Your best is there. Your best is within you. Your best is present. It's just concealed. Trapped inside. Just chip away, chip away. And the key is to chip away. It's not taking big chunks away. You can't take big chunks away because you'll destroy what could have been the masterpiece. But if you chip away little pieces at a time, eventually the masterpiece will emerge. You are the masterpiece. And you will emerge. How's that? Well, anyway, I want to thank you for joining me and listening. And I want to invite you to listen again. You take care.